The strangers, believe me when I say, loving me is loving danger. Your heart is bound to break. I walk alone in the night, meet the pale moon, loving's for the fools. Baby, beware of my bite. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm a lone wolf. 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 I'm a creeping through the shadows and the corners of your mind. I go where the wind blows. I run but I don't hide. I'm a lone wolf. 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 I'm a
Alright guys, welcome to the non-political stream for the day. I was looking for news. We like to cover politics here, but today it's going to be mostly non-political. There's a little bit of Tommy Robinson news, but apart from that, we're going to be talking about a 15-year-old boy who's not allowed to masturbate by his parents. Spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about someone who got a Jizz Towel given to him, or someone jizzing on his towel. We're going to talk about Tommy Robinson, of course, and like a whole bunch of like a guy scamming KFC. So enjoy, I suppose. Enjoy the non-political commentary. Greetings from Mobile, Alabama. Greetings, Philip. How are you, buddy? Look, at the end of the day, guys, it's going to be a fairly chilled stream. It's going to be a fairly fun one. So let's just kick it off, I suppose. And I'll record these and I'll upload these separate as well. So let's just kick it off with a bang. Look at the size of them. New Jersey man films two huge black bread. Hang on, that's not the article I wanted. Here it is here. Sorry. So let's start that again. Boy, 15-year-old seeks legal advice after his parents set up cameras in his bedroom and bathroom to stop him from masturbating. Let's jump in. Yeah. Hey, Trip. How are you, buddy? Cool, Philip. Cool. Good to see you well, buddy. So, the boys took to Reddit's legal section and asked for help in regarding the situation. He said his father barged in without knocking earlier this month and caught him choking the chicken, so to speak. Hey, Squirrel, how are you, buddy? Now, the boy said his parents are against sexual activities before marriage and wouldn't even let him attend the school's sex education classes. He promised he'd never masturbate again, but found out they ordered indoor security cameras from Amazon to help keep his word. So a 15-year-old boy in Alaska has claimed that his parents are setting up security cameras in his bedroom and bathroom to make sure he doesn't masturbate. Poor bastard. Go to the local, I don't know. Well, what do you do when you, I don't want to make a suggestion because it's probably illegal, but I was going to say, when you're 15 and you've got to rub one out and your parents won't let you do it at home, what do you do? 15-year-old set up securities in his bedroom and bathroom to make sure he doesn't masturbate. Probably I would say they're Catholics or Muslim. Yeah. The anonymous teen took to Reddit's legal advice section to ask for help this week. What can I do? He wrote in the subreddit legal advice. I'm 15 and think I should be allowed to touch my own body. Yeah, you probably should be, actually, yeah. I would say emancipation is probably a good area to go in this direction, but, it's embarrassing and destroys my privacy. Please help. The teen reveals that his parents caught him masturbating earlier this month. My dad barged in without knocking and started screaming at me, he wrote. And my mum and then sat me down and told me I'm not allowed to touch myself. When I think about you, I touch myself. Da, da, da. The teen said his parents are against sexual activities before marriage. He wasn't even allowed to participate in the school's sex ed class. I'm leaving him only to learn some things on the internet. To be honest, he's probably getting a better education off the internet than he is off like Pornhub. I'm gonna say that, alright? I'm going there. Although the boy promised his parents he wouldn't masturbate anymore, he said his word isn't good enough for them. The teen found an Amazon package at his home and discovered there were indoor security cameras inside. I asked my dad and he said they're putting them up in my room and bathroom so they can monitor and make sure I'm not masturbating, the boy wrote. They told the teen that they would check the cameras every day to make sure he didn't dare masturbate. I swear, this kid, he is going to grow up to be the ultimate hackings. Like, he is... Anonymous is going to love this kid when he gets older because the shit he's going to be able to do because of all this is just really good. I asked my dad and he said they're putting them up in so the monitor, a boy wrote. Hang on, I think I've already said that. Alright, they told the teen that they would check cameras every day. Right, okay, so I said that wasn't okay. He said, I agreed not to masturbate, and this is holding me to the agreement, the boy wrote. Fellow Redditors told the teen that his behaviour was perfectly normal and suggested that he talk to another adult about what his parents were doing. Regardless of whether or not you masturbate, which is perfectly normal, you need to have a reasonable amount of privacy while you're using the bathroom and changing, one person wrote. However you feel comfortable pursuing this, please realize that you're a normal kid exhibiting normal, natural, and healthy behaviors, another added. Family law expert Jacqueline Newman told the dailymail.com the teen would likely be able to argue that they have the right to privacy in their own home. This is not a young child, she said. I think a court would take it seriously what their rights are and entitled to the bathroom and in their bedroom. Newman said she found the case destructive and unhealthy on so many levels, and said that some could even argue that filming the teen could border on child pornography situations, which is a good point, even if the parents weren't using the cameras for such purposes. But Newman said that she believes that if the police or child protective services became involved, it's unlikely the boy would be taken from his home. I think that's extreme. Unless it's the tip of the iceberg, there's much more to be discovered, she said. Losing your parental rights, there have to be some serious allegations and proof. Although if they're Catholics, that might be enough for, child protective services. To put this child in some sort of foster home, I can't imagine a court would see that as a better solution. I think there's just some serious parenting classes that have to go on here. So there was a thing a few years ago where Catholics, Christians and whatnot were losing their children because of their religious views, which is why I made that joke about being Christian. So at the end of the day, look, what's my view on this? Okay, you could probably make the argument that it's child porn. They are filming an underage adult. That in itself is... he's 15. Holy shit. Regardless, I think he should be able to rub one out, I believe is the phrase that Tripp just said. I'm just scrubbing the sins off my body. Okay. Yes, the jokes, the memes are going to be priceless about this. Look, at the end of the day, obviously it's a serious situation. Okay, obviously at the end of the day, he should be able to rub-a-dub-dub in the tub, so to speak. But at the end of the day, I don't agree with the parents. I know they're wrong, because it's wrong. But at the end of the day, look, I know where the parents are coming from. I don't agree with it. I don't like it. But I get what they're meaning or what they say, and it's... this kid should become a porn star at 18 just to prove the point. Yeah, it's true. And I don't know why that message was redacted, but anyway. But yeah, like I say, look, and that's the thing too, is here, if you go through and you force this kid to have this strict upbringing, right? He's going to have a very unhealthy view of sex. And not only that, but it's going to be humping trees. Like, you know, like you're going to be walking or driving home and you're going to see him like rub up against a tree going, oh my God, your tree. Like, you know, that woodpecker hole is just going to be really tempting. Oh my God, the pie. He's going to be sticking it in everything. But look, obviously seriousness aside, or jokes aside, being serious, look, obviously this is a major problem with the parents. The parents obviously have an unhealthy view of sex. Every 15-year-old boy does it. Starts doing it. Keeps doing it well into adulthood. Look, at the end of the day, yeah, I would say that this is just... Yeah, it's ridiculous. It really, really is. And look, if I was this kid, maybe seeking emancipation? I don't know. Like, it does make you wonder if this is their view on sex, for example, with this. Like, what else are they sort of enforcing? I don't know. But at the end of the day, I feel sorry for the kid, to be honest. Like, he's got hormones and, you know, he's self-exploration, you know. I don't know. What do you guys reckon? Alright, greetings from Alabama. Let's jump in. Doing well, thank you. Hey, dudes. His parents are Shiite Catholics. Wow, this is creepy. Poor kid. He's going to explore in his sleep. Yeah, and that's the thing, you know, like, what happens, for example, if he starts doing it in his sleep, you know, or, you know, he's sleepwalking, per se, and he starts rubbing himself or something like that, not even being conscious. If it's like because he's subconsciously, this is the thing, you know, yeah. I think I got dehydrated. God. There is nothing right about this family's parenting skills. I would totally agree, Philip. In the shower, I'm just scrubbing the sins off my body. Haha, trip. And I think I got dehydrated at age 15. I think we all went there. You know, at 15, everything looks like a hole. So, yeah. But, like I say, look... And it gets bloody cold up in Alaska, as far as I understand. You know, but look, obviously, look, at the end of the day, the biggest problem about this is obviously it's going to go through and it's going to cause him to have sex at an early age. You know, if he's not going to be able to exchange fluids that way, he's going to just go and just start banging chicks or whatever it may be. He's going to marry the first girl that comes along just because he wants to get it on, sort of thing. Like, there's a lot of unhealthy hang-ups regarding sex about this. So, look, I'm presuming the story is legit. I'm presuming it's true. It's definitely on Reddit. And I'm presuming it's not some 15-year-old kid who's trolling. I really, really do feel sorry for him. After doing it 365 times, you turn 16. Yeah, it's a bit like that, actually, isn't it? But yeah, guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think that this parenting skills kind of suck? Do you think at the end of the day the kid should be able to touch himself, so to speak? Do you think that there is a case for child porn, for example? Do you think that parents filming it, they could make that case? Would you want him to be emancipated? Let us know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. Alright, so that was the first video. Oh boy, welcome to Demonetizedville. Alright, let's jump into the next one. Alright guys, so we have a bit of an update on Tommy Robinson. As some of you know, we've obviously been following this. We are huge when it comes to freedom of speech. And look, at the end of the day, I like Tommy. I know there's arguments about him being Zionist and all that from the alt-right and all that sort of shit. I don't really care. Tommy Robinson loses court case as judge rules he must face new contempt trial. This has not gone down very, very well. Okay? This has gone down pretty badly, actually, because there's actually, like, marches and stuff in the street at the moment. We'll talk about all that. Tommy Robinson has failed in his bid to end contempt of court pleadings against him. The High Court judges sitting in the Old Bailey ruled that the fresh action should go ahead. It's alleged the far right, and that's their terminology, not mine, activists committed contempt of court by filming people in a criminal trial and broadcasting footage on social media. Judges heard that Robinson's alleged behaviour outside Leeds Court in May last year was of great concern to the Attorney General. Yes, because at the end of the day, he showed that there were people being on trial for Muslim grooming gangs. The 36-year-old, whose real name is blah, claimed the action against him was politically motivated, which I would have to agree with. I would say that's actually a fairly good statement. After all, you went through his financial records and found that 10 years ago, he filled out a co-founded or co-signed a mortgage form for a brother or something and decided to throw him in jail for it. And by the way, the last court case, the one that that he's having to go to retrial for, they literally admitted it was a kangaroo court. Okay, if it's not politically motivated, why is it that you then have to retry him? You know, the judge wouldn't have let him talk to his lawyer. The judge, didn't even watch the video or anything like that. It just threw his ass in jail for 8 months, 18 months, whatever it may be. I think it was 8 months. And it was only because of the appeals and the people that pushed on this and the marches and the protests that you had to let him out. Like, it's not politically motivated, but hey, we might have actually kangaroo courted this guy because we don't like him. But it's not politically motivated. In address to supporters before today's hearing. In a written submission to the court, government lawyer Andrew Kolnick, QC, said that Robinson's solicitors... Go away. Robinson's solicitors... Let's try that again. Robinson's solicitors had advanced various reasons why contempt proceedings should not be pursued. They included the exceptional arduous condition of imprisonment he had already endured, a medical matter delayed, and the cost to the public purse. I believe the last time the delay was actually the government delaying. But anyway, that was, the government actually delayed because they weren't ready. You know, the court case that you're supposedly retrying, that you supposedly weren't ready with after you had already thrown him in jail for 8 months, but you had already gone to court. You think if you had have already gone to court and found him guilty, you would have been ready? Just saying. The English Defence League founder, who's since distanced himself from the group, mind you, they forgot to put that in, founder was jailed for 13 months in May. So it was 13 months, sorry, yep. But contempt findings made against him were squashed by the Court of Appeal in August, and he was set free from prison after serving 2 months of his sentence. He wasn't in there for 2 months, was he? Was that all he was in there for? 2 months? Oh, shit. The case was then referred back to the Attorney General, who announced in March that it was in the public interest to bring fresh proceedings. Really? Because the public interest at the moment is them marching in protest against it. I would say that's probably not in the, public interest, but regardless. A full hearing will take place on the 4th and 5th of July at the Old Bailey, the High Court judge ruled on Tuesday, which is today. Look, at the end of the day, I would say, look, the existing court case was thrown out. I think at the end of the day, I think this is a load of crap. I really do. Yeah, I do think this is politically motivated. I think they're going after Tommy Robinson because at the end of the day, they're afraid. Oops, they are afraid of Tommy Robinson and his support. He has a lot of support over in the UK. And not just in the UK, but in the rest of the world. And I really do think that they are worried that this anti-establishment rise up sort of thing is going to take over, and they're going to lose their support base. To me, this is all about it's about the establishment. It's about the elites trying to hold on to what power they've got. And realizing that at the end of the day that holy shit, there's a tidal wave coming at us, and it's a whole bunch of Tommy Robinson supporters. And that's what I think this is it. It's all about them trying to hold on to that power. So we've got a little bit of an update on this. You guys probably see I'm bringing up on the screen. So there's been a few protests, riots, not riots, sorry, but protests and stuff like that. This is the first one here.
I love the family that raised me to be the man I am today. I love the country that gave me the freedom to do just that.
So this is just a massive support for Tommy Robinson tonight in Wagga. What a welcome. So obviously I don't think he was actually there because he was actually in London for the Old Bailey. But it's just people turning up in support of Tommy Robinson. Now, obviously, apart from that, Cassandra Fairbanks, who is also there with Tommy Robinson at the moment, she has gone through and she's posted this. Police are not allowing us in, even though our media credentials have been approved by the court. So that is obviously very interesting, the fact that they're blocking off the media, even though she's been approved. I imagine the mainstream media would not have a single problem, though. That's really weird. They didn't know. I don't know why they would block Cassandra Fairbanks, but not, like BBC or whatever it may be. And obviously at the end of the day, there's also a march that has been going on as well. Whoopsie. We will play that for you guys now.
She's with them.
Thank you.
Oops. Let's start that again.
Thank you very much. I'm with Lisa. She told me
She's with them.
thank you.
So, yeah. Like I say, he's still got a lot of support. And I think they were waiting until Europe elects more right-leaning leaders. Yeah, that's going to cause a whole shitstorm, isn't it? What I think they were doing is, I think, my opinion, I got to say this because, I think at the end of the day, they tried to wait it out. That they knew that this Tommy Robinson thing was going to be a bad move, and that they wanted to wait it out, wait a few months, and then go through and retry the case, which is why it was delayed. Hoping that his support would die down. I don't think it's going to. And I think at the end of the day that there's going to be more support for Tommy Robinson when the actually goes back to court. Look, even after all the demonetization, the locking his YouTube channel under limited state, all this sort of shit. Although I was surprised one of his videos wasn't actually limited state the other day. But yeah, just basically going through and just trying to censor the guy. He still can get this sort of crowd turning up. Like, he can still get this sort of crowd turning up to protest. And it's not even the actual court case yet. This is just a preliminary thing today. Wait until they get into, what was it, the 5th or 4th? 4th and 5th of July. Guys, if you're in London for the 4th or 5th of July, I presume on the 4th there's going to be a rally or a protest. And I imagine there'll be one on the 5th as well. Turn up. Protest. Scream Tommy Robinson's name in a megaphone or whatever you've got. Until the fact that they have to listen to you. And it's only with that will they then go through and forced to back down, I suppose. That'll be my argument. And look, obviously I'll be checking to see what happens in Australia too. If there's any sort of protests or rallies or anything over here, I'll be attending, or try to attend. What did they say? July, May, June, July. 4th and 5th is a Thursday and a Friday. So that would be a Friday and a Saturday here. I might be able to go on the Friday one, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. At least then I'll have decent internet. By the way, guys, a bit of update on that too. I'll fill you in a sec. But yeah, look, guys, apart from that, look, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section regarding Tommy Robinson. Do you think at the end of the day that this court case is a kangaroo court? Do you think that this is a load of crap? Do you think at the end of the day that they should be allowing Tommy Robinson to go free? Do you think this court case is going to receive look, is it going to be a better outcome, or do you think they're going to try and kangaroo court him again? I bet they put a media ban on this. They may try Trip, but here's the thing. Media bans only work in the UK. They won't work on people like me. And I tell you what, the UK, if you try and media ban me from talking about it, you can suck my balls, because I still will. And that's my point of view. So, regardless of what bans they try and force, I will still talk about this. And in fact, you try and bring in a media ban on this, I'm going to talk about it even more. So, suck my balls if you even try. And it would be the worst thing they ever did, because if they did, they would be then trying to censor Tommy Robinson. So, it'd be the biggest mistake they ever did. But like I say, yeah, obviously going through chat. Wait until Europe elects more right-leaning leaders. I bet they put a media ban on his trial. July 4th, that's by design. Americans won't be paying attention that weekend. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, I think that the July 4th and 5th is just the fact that it's just the closest date that came up. I think at the end of the day, you're true that the Americans will probably have less interest because they'll be obviously off for celebrating Independence Day. But I think people are still going to care. And the YouTubers are still going to talk about all this. So it's not like it's going to go anywhere. So yeah, worst case scenario, people will be covering it on the 6th. Our Independence Day, true. Hit that like button. Yes, guys, smack that like button. We've already got 6 people that like this video, so yeah. Smack that like button and let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section below regarding Tommy Robinson. I think, yeah. I think this reeks of political. I think they're trying to silence him because they don't want him running as an MEP. They don't want him in the public spotlight. They just want him to go away and die. Or not even just die, but just rot in jail. Because if he dies, he becomes a martyr. I really don't think they want him around. But let me know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. Alright, so let's jump on to the next story. Alright, so a man arrested after eating free KFC. Oh shit, this is funny. Eating free at KFC for a year, claiming he's from head office. You got to give him credit, I suppose. We've all got a mate who's gone back around the drive-through, claiming an item has been missing from their order, even though it's most definitely right in front of them. I've never actually done that. I know it's going to sound a little squarish, but I've never actually claimed that an item has been missing. But anyway. And sometimes an extra portion of chips to soften the blow. But what was this 27-year-old fella did was quite close to genius. The only thing missed the mark because he was now been arrested. Sorry, it only just missed the mark. Okay. Because he's now been arrested and appeared in court after allegedly scamming his way to eating free at KFC for an entire year. Okay, squirrel, no worries, buddy. The South American man is reportedly told employees at the fast food chain that he had been sent up from KFC's headquarters for quality checks to make sure that the chicken was up to standard. According to Indiana Today, the University of Coswitz Newell student would walk in with confidence and tell staff he was there for quality assurance checks for food served at the restaurant. He had also been reported the unnamed man carried an ID card from head office and would dress very smart. Even arriving in a limousine, credits were credit due. That's dedication. Yeah. I'd say this guy's pretty on point, to be honest. I'm not encouraging that, alright, right-wing watch, but, still, pretty funny. Well, according to Expola, I might be mispronouncing, the man's friend is a part-time limo driver and seemed to be pretty good at alleged accomplice for pretending you're a man with status, by the sound of things. A member of staff from KFC told Expolia when he arrived he would all try to act our best so that we didn't piss off the man from head office. He was so convincing because he was so confident, and even colleagues from other branches of KFC knew him. I'm really finding this story quite funny, actually. When he came in, he rushed into the kitchen and checked everything, taking notes, and then asked for samples of whatever he wanted. He probably worked for KFC because he knows everything. The story was shared on Twitter by a Kenya journalist who tweeted from an actual account called The African Voice. So was this in South America, was it? South African man. Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's from South Africa. Yeah, okay. Maybe he was in... did he actually commit a crime? Lying's not a crime. That's true. And at the end of the day, I would say probably not. But we'll keep going with this anyway. I'll talk about the end. So the story was shared by Twitter who tweeted from an account called The African Voice. The post currently has 22,000 likes, 10,000 retweets, and people dubbing the KFC imposter a hero. One person commented they should give that man a job already. Another added, not all heroes wear capes. A third person wrote that he is a legend and is now a very experienced taster for KFC. Should employ him. Almost flawless plan until he inevitably got caught. Unlucky mate. So I presume he's over in South America? South Africa? I presume. Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, okay. Did he actually commit a crime? I don't think he did. This is the thing, right? So there is a thing where if you've walked in and you're able to scam someone free food or whatever because they believed you, it's a case of, well, that's your mistake, I believe. And look, at the end of the day, look, Even if he did this once a week. Say he went in once a week or once a month or whatever. How much food did he really make? Like, how much food has he really eaten out of KFC? Like, this should just be a case of, okay, fine, we got dupes, we're a bunch of morons, we apologise. Dude, look, we're sorry. By the way, you're coming to KFC again and you're probably going to be banned. That would be if I was KFC, that would be my thing, you know? Maybe put up a photo mocking the situation or something at the KFCs. You know, don't serve this man, he's not from head office. Or whatever it may be. Like I say, I don't know. Maybe have a little bit of fun with it, you know. Maybe give the guy like an award that was like a bucket of popcorn chicken or something as a trophy. I don't know. I think at the end of the day that KFC should just have a bit of a joke about it and maybe train their staff a little better. Because they're going to get a whole bunch of people trying to impose and trying to do the exact same thing. This is going to be a case of, okay, this guy was a genius. I am now going to go and try it. And a whole bunch of people are going to go and try it at their local KFC. To be honest, I think KFC should just take it on the chin. Take it like a man, so to speak. You got scammed. And I don't really think he did anything wrong. I mean, like, how much of a loss was it really? Exactly, like, you know, like, what did they pay for the chicken? What, $1, $2 for the chicken? Like, I doubt he went in every day for 365 days, because then they would have raised questions. They would have spoken, like, why are you coming in every day? We don't have quality checks every day. That would have rang alarm bells. He probably went into, like, one store a week and then rotated the 4 or 5 or 8 stores and ended up hitting the stores probably once every 2 or 3 months. But he just did it over a bunch of stores. Like, time to try this at Popeyes next. Yeah, and that's the thing. You're going to have a whole bunch of people trying to do this. And obviously, please check to make sure it's not illegal if you don't want anybody breaking the law. I got to say that. But look, yeah, at the end of the day, I think this is just a guy who decided to scam KFC for free food. And at the end of the day, I think KFC just needs to really take it on the chin. You got scammed, bro. Suck it up. Maybe train your staff a little better. I really don't think this is as bad as what... Yeah, obviously, my ego's a little hurt and all that sort of stuff, but yeah. No, Popeyes is actually... we don't have Popeyes over here. I haven't seen that one. I'd have to try it whenever I come to America. But like I say, yeah, look, at the end of the day, I think KFC just needs to take this like a man and just stop being a bunch of whining little something or other. You got scammed. You got played, son! And you got played good. So, I don't know, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think that this is this against the law? Can you think of some reason why? Like, obviously he's not impersonating any federal police or anything like that, so there's not that aspect of it. Maybe you could go for fraud on the fake ID, but I don't even know if you'd be able to do that. Let me know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. If the video has been helpful, obviously smack that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. Apart from that, guys, we'll see you in the next video. Alright, so apart from that, let's keep going. So, police investigate after a teenager discovers fellow gym goer masturbated under his towel. Woof, getting a little spicy on some of these topics here. We've all been subject to weird habits of fellow gym goers from time to time. The bloke who cuts his toenails, the woman who walks around with her towel placed underneath her boobs, and the bloke who masturbates on other people's towels. Can't say I've ever had that last one. Or the chick walking around with the towel under her boobs. Not in the gym anyway. Make me want to go to the gym more often if that did happen. Wait, who the hell would do that? A random bloke who attends the same pump gym as the 17-year-old Muhammad Ali. That's who. Now, Muhammad left his towel on a wall rail while he went to the loo inside the changing rooms following the workout session. It wasn't until he came out of the toilet and discovered his towel had been used by a randy gym goer. Furious Muhammad said it was nobody was in charge of the room when he found the towel. Sorry, Furious Muhammad, okay, why don't we just call him Muhammad, but anyway, said nobody was in the changing room when he found the towel, and he complained the next day to staff. Okay, so either this guy's constipated or someone can really rub one out really fast. He said workers at pump gyms in Northam looked at the CCTV and confirmed the stain wasn't shampoo and handed the police video. Now, officers from Northamptonshire Police, I'm guessing this is over in the UK. Yeah, UK. Police are now investigating. Muhammad says, I was only one of 4 people in the gym at the time. I reckon I went to the toilet for 5 minutes and left my towel on the wall rail by the cubicle. Oh, trap. Oh, God. That leaves a foul taste in your mouth, doesn't it? I could see something white. At first I thought it was shampoo that had leaked from my bag or something. So I went to touch it and give it a smell. No, you don't. You don't touch it. No, don't smell it. No, you don't smell it. You never smell it. At least he didn't try it, I suppose. Muhammad continued, it turns out what it was not hoping to be. The person who had come in the changing room while I was in the toilet masturbated on my towel. I was so angry. So angry. When was the last time you had someone who was so angry that literally said that? I'm so angry. I don't know what to do. I went back to the gym the next day to find the assistant manager and tell him what happened. Did you take the towel with you? And was disgusted as I was. And he was as disgusted as I was. Thankfully, the gym staff have all been extremely supportive throughout this whole incident and gave me good advice. Waiter Muhammad usually hits the weights between 10 p.m. and 1 a.m. to avoid the busy period and said the incident happened at around 1 a.m. on May 2nd. Muhammad, who has left disgusted and shocked, claims the manager said he could have not handed over the footage but would give the evidence to police. A spokesperson from Northamptonshire Police said that this happened between midnight and 1:30 a.m. on May 2nd at the gym in Gladstone Road, Northampton, when the report was made that the man had committed this offence in changing rooms. We have spoken to the victim and investigating. This is in partnership with the gym. Pump Gym Northampton declined to comment. So they said that this happened between midnight and 1 a.m. and 2 a.m. at the Gladstone Road when report was made. So they didn't really admit. Okay, so I have a couple of questions I need to ask about this, right? And excuse the French, but who the hell can rub one out in less than 5 minutes? So this guy reckons he was in the toilet for 5 minutes, right? So someone's come running in, seen the towel, rubbed one out, spotted all over it, and then pulled up his pants and ran off within 5 minutes. Without pornography or anything to get you aroused, that's pretty fucking impressive. Like, disgusting, but still impressive. That's some... Yeah, it's been a day all about masturbation, hadn't it? But like I say, yeah, look, at the end of the day, that's impressive. That's really pretty fucking fast. Do I think that this is maybe he was targeted? Maybe. I want to say maybe. Maybe at the end of the day, maybe they just wanted to relieve somewhere, saw the towel, and decided to do it. I don't know. My question is that how do police know what it is? Like, they didn't really say that they've confirmed it, did they? They said that the gym has watched the video and confirmed it wasn't shampoo. Okay. But was it some guy that had like a squirt bottle that went up and squirted it onto the towel as a bit of a gag? Was it a bit of a joke? Is there someone in the gym that has maybe a problem with you? Is this a false claim? Is this some sort of fake hate crime or something? I don't know. Something about this is not right. A 15-year-old could. It's the guy from Alaska. It was the only way he could masturbate. Check out our early video if you don't know what we were talking about that. But look, at the end of the day, yeah, I don't know. It just seems like it's pump gyms. Yeah, the name is obviously pretty funny too. But like I said, look, at the end of the day, it's just really weird that someone can knock that out that fast. And like, I don't know. Like, how did they know it's what he says it is? That would be my argument to Pump Gym. Have you seen the video footage of this? Something to me about this is just, it's not right. It's not right on so many levels, but you know what I mean. It doesn't sound right. Exactly, yeah, Squirrel, that's what I'm saying. Less than 5 minutes to get your pants off, come onto the towel, do your pants up, run away. He said that there was nobody in the vicinity when it come back, so they'd already long gone. Like, this guy, like, serious. Like this guy had to be done and dusted within, like, 3.5 minutes. 3.5 to 4 minutes. Like, yeah. So, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe it's a joke. It's a prank. Maybe it's a fake hate crime. Like, fake crime. I don't know. I really do want to find out what the follow-up on this is. Just because, to me, there's something that they've not been told. There's something about this that's just, it's not right. I don't know. Maybe fake hate crime. Maybe he's just, I don't know. Like, release the video footage. No, don't release the video footage, I suppose. But, you know, I want to see, and the gyms refuse to comment. That in itself is a little weird. Roid Rage, someone saying in chat. This towel, wash it, move on with your life. Went back the next day. Yeah, that's the thing too. Like, okay, like at the end of the day, if this had happened to you, would you have gone back the next day? Would you? Would you have gone through and thought, maybe I might want to change gyms? Like, no offense, but at the outside of the gym doesn't look that flash. I imagine there is other gyms in the area. Would you have gone back? Someone jizzed onto your towel while you're in the toilet? And not only that, but you know what? You expect me to believe that someone has just, in the opportune moment, walked in while you're on the toilet and found a towel and jizzed on it and then walked off within 5 minutes. Like, it's really not making sense. There's something about this that maybe he grabbed the towel, went into the bathroom stall, did his business, then hung it back up. Yeah, but the thing is, Trip, at the end of the day, like, even if it was an opportune moment, right? Say he walked in and he saw the towel and he was already going at it, hammer and tongs, whatever it may be. Mistake towel, maybe. And then, but you know, like that's presuming that someone was jerking the chicken at the same time. And I don't know. It's weird. Something about this is scratching my Josie Smollett brain. Right? I had the exact same sort of mistake or the same sort of thing running through my head when Josie Smollett situation first came out. We were one of the first ones to turn around and say, something about this is not right. And big freaking surprise on that one. So I'm getting the exact same feeling about this. To me, this seems like it's some guy who wants to play the victim. And I don't think this is what he's claiming it is. And look, unless I can see the camera video or something like that, or I can get something that proves that it is and that it is the situation, then obviously I'll change my story. But at the moment, I don't think this is right. I don't think we're getting the full story here. I think there's more to us than we're being led on. Something does not add up. But guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Do you think fake hate crime? Do you think at the end of the day that this guy maybe is not popular at this gym and people wanted to send him a message? Do you think it was just some random guy who happened to be walking past and dick in hand, so to speak, and decided to just jizz onto a towel because it was there? I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. Co-ed gym. No. Well, no, he's male. I imagine it's male that did it too. But guys, let me know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. If the video has been helpful, please smack that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. Apart from that, guys, we'll see you in the next video. And obviously, we'll keep going on. Okay, so the rest of the news is nothing really central topics. We have the Ramadan Rage, which I probably want to record. Right, so that's the other ones that we're going to record for now. But obviously we're just going to continue on with the stream. And, yeah, do a DNA test. Yeah, probably a good idea, actually. Alright. Okay, so let's just keep going on with the stream. I might record the Ramadan Rage one. And then we can obviously just do the rest of them just from the live stream. So, a pregnant 11-year-old rape victim in Ohio would no longer be allowed to have an abortion under the new state law. The 11-year-old girl in Ohio was allegedly raped by a 26-year-old multiple times, leaving her to be pregnant, according to police reports. The state law passed in April, but not in effect, says the victim, like her, wouldn't have a choice to abort. They would have to carry and deliver the rapist's child. The law prohibits women from obtaining abortion after the fatal heartbeat is dedicated about 5 or 6 weeks into pregnancy, before most women even know that they're pregnant. That is a lot of crap. It really, really is. This is something the left is. This is where you start losing credibility. The law provides no exception for rape or incest. So at the end of the day, if you get raped, okay, no worries, Trip. Enjoy, buddy. If you get raped, you go to the hospital. They do a rape kit on you. While you're there, ask for a pregnancy test. This whole argument. Look, I'm sympathetic for this possible scenario of a girl that hasn't really happened, but may happen in some weird world. Presuming that they don't do presuming they do the rape test, presuming they don't do a pregnancy test, presuming that she doesn't know that she's pregnant up until 5 or 6 weeks. It's actually 6 weeks, by the way, but anyway. And presuming after all that, she then realizes that she's pregnant. What? You're going to tell me a woman who's been raped is not going to do a pregnancy test within the next 6 weeks on the off chance that maybe she might get pregnant from the rapist? You know, like, if I was raped, not saying I have been or anything like that or whatever, but if I was, I would be doing a pregnancy test to make sure. And I sure as shit wouldn't be waiting until 7, 8, 10 weeks before I did it. I would be like, yep, let's do that test right now. Let's do that test and make sure I'm not going to carry this bastard son, so to speak, figuratively and literally. Like this argument that, oh, you know, she's got to wait 6 weeks before she finds out she's pregnant. Some women even know, most women will know before that 6 week pregnant if they're pregnant or not. Like I said, and I've talked about this before, right? One of my exes had an abortion because she was on birth medication. She was on medication that causes birth defects, and it's some serious shit. But anyway, she knew she was pregnant before the 6 weeks. She, at the very least, subconsciously knew. Because I tell you now, she did not want to do a pregnancy test. She did everything that she could to put off said pregnancy test. Because she knew what the results were going to be. She also realized that she had missed her period. And even after all this, and all the running around and all the dragging of her feet, she still managed to get in within 8 weeks, I think it was, within 7 or 8 weeks or whatever. And this is after we also went through, we also had to go and make the appointment. Have you ever tried to get a girl, well, not tried to get a girl, sorry, but have you ever get a girl that's very bad at, for example, postponing things, at procrastination? Have you ever tried to get her to make an appointment? You know what I mean? Look, at the end of the day, I said to her, and I literally said when she was pregnant, I have 2 kids. It's cool. You can tell. Exactly, squirrel. And like I said to her when she was pregnant, I'm going to say this before people take my comments out of context. I said to her I would have supported her either way. Right? And I think at the end of the day, her having that procedure caused a lot of psychological effects. Now that we look back on that situation, or I look back on that situation, I think at the end of the day, that situation could have aided in the destruction of the relationship. Also, her going on the pill seemed to make her a little crazy. So at the end of the day, yeah, I would say that yes, you can definitely tell, and there are side effects about doing this operation. But like I say, look, at the end of the day, do I think there should be something for rape and incest? Sure. But here's the thing. The left screw the situation over. Because what the left do is they go through and they say, well, we just want to go and make it for rape and incest. And everybody's like, yeah, fine, we get that. Okay, fine. We'll allow you to go through and do that. And then the next year later, oh, we think it should be more than 6 weeks. Because even with rape or incest or something, insert some obliviously slippery slope argument, oh, the woman needs more time. So then they go through and they push it from 6 weeks to 12 weeks or 8 weeks or whatever it may be. And they just keep pushing on it. They're never happy with what they've got. They have... If the left had turned around and said, look, we think a woman after 6 weeks or 8 weeks or whatever it may be shouldn't be allowed abortion unless it was under rape or incest, and they left it at that point, then at the end of the day, you'd probably get half the Republicans on your side. They'll be like, yep, rape and incest is bad. We're not having a problem with that. But to be honest also, this is only a small portion of the incidences. The vast majority of abortions that are actually gone through and actually had or proceeded with is not because of rape or incest. This is like a fraction of a percent. It's like 5% or some shit. The vast majority, the overwhelming majority, people who were consenting adults who decided not to use protection. Look, no one likes eating a sandwich through a garbage bag, to use a phrase. Right? I get it. Sex with a condom is boring for a guy. You girls, some of you girls have no idea how boring it really is. And especially if you get a girl that is, or a woman that is less into it, so to speak, and not enjoying it, or I shouldn't say not enjoying it. I've got to be careful what I'm saying here. Maybe less into doing it and just wants it over and done with, so to speak, because it's, boyfriend, Then at the end of the day, that can also make the situation a lot worse. But yeah, at the end of the day, that this to me, it's just, you're talking about a fraction of percentage in a situation that's extremely uncommon, extremely rare. Most women will know within 6 weeks that they're pregnant, and let alone the fact that if you've been raped or incest, which is technically also rape in most cases, I would presume, then at the end of the day, you would know you've had sex. You would go and do a pregnancy test within a week or two. You wouldn't wait until you started showing signs, because there are certain changes the woman goes through, even under 6 weeks. So, yeah, I'm sorry, but I think this argument is a lot of crap. It really, really is. And like I say, because the left are not interested in going through and being happy with whatever they get, and because they constantly keep pushing the bounds, we now have people turning around saying, well, look, you weren't happy when we gave you this option in the past. You went through and tried to do the whole slippery slope fallacy. Why should we give you some rope on this? Because you're just going to go and try and hang us with it later. I'm pretty conservative, but early abortion, in my opinion, is okay, especially for young girls. But they need to know it's not contraception. True. That's a point too. Yeah. Look, yeah. My views on this has somewhat changed over the years. I used to be like that. I used to be, look, you know, if you've had an abortion, you got to have an abortion because you don't want... Education is key. That is true. I would totally agree on that. But here's the thing, right, Squirrel? With that education is key, we have education in Australia. And we still have abortions. We still have people, even after knowing, you know, that the pull-out method is not exactly right, even with all the options of birth control, contraception, pill, diaphragms, whatever it may be that women can use or guys can use, condoms, we still have people getting pregnant. Like, I know people say that pill is not 100%. You're right, it's not. But it's sure as shit better than birth control for condoms. And I tell you what, I haven't had any kids because of a condom breaking or because the condom failed. Alright? My incident was because we were having unprotected sex. Yeah. So I know about this situation more than anybody. I can tell you now why people do it. People do it because at the end of the day, you don't want to eat a sandwich through a plastic bag. It's, you know, when you, that time when you know, Junior's all hard and he's all, yeah, let's go, yeah, sort of thing, you know, you're thinking with the little brain instead of the big brain, you know, the little head instead of the big head. And at the end of the day, you're sitting there thinking like, yeah, let's do it, yeah! And then, you know, at that time, it seems like it's a good idea because you're not thinking. And then afterwards, you're like, oh shit, what have I done? No! Oh my god! And then you've got like 6 weeks of dread. And then if you don't abort, you've got like 18 years of dread. I should be nasty, I suppose. But yeah, like I say, look, at the end of the day, it's... I know why people do it. People have unprotected sex because it doesn't feel the same, and I get that. That's probably why a lot of guys like the butt, I suppose. Because kids don't think. Exactly. And look, as a adult, and I tell you what, if I'm with some hot chick and we're in a steady relationship, is it tempting to not use a condom? Hell yeah. There is a big difference between condom and no condom when it comes to feeling wise. You notice it. There is a large difference. So, yeah. I get why people... If you ever want to defer people from having abortion, mention the bill. I think it's like $350 to $500 in Australia. It's expensive. So, but yeah, guys, let me know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. Apart from that, we'll move on. Man who threw boy from Mall of American balcony pleads guilty to attempted murder. So the man who is, interestingly enough, The man who tossed a 5-year-old boy from a balcony in Minnesota's Mall of America in April pleaded guilty Tuesday to attempted preliminary first-degree murder. Emmanuel Esmeralda, 24, good American name he's got there, admits guilt in the planned attack, which left the child hospitalized as a part of a plea agreement. In exchange, prosecutors agreed not to pursue an aggravated circumstances component to the charge, which could have meant an additional year in prison for Amanda. Prosecutor Cherry Ann Townsend said the boy's family supported the plea deal. The 24-year-old told investigators he went to the mall on April 12th looking for someone to kill and randomly chose the child. Interesting about this, I've heard rumors that it's actually racially motivated. I have heard rumors, people have been saying that he wanted to throw a white child off the balcony. Just saying. Heard that rumor. Don't know how true it is, but I've heard that rumor. The 5-year-old was thrown nearly 40 feet to the ground after he tossed from a third floor balcony, officers said. The child suffered head trauma and multiple broken bones, but survived. The boy's family in April released a statement which they said prayers are working as a 5-year-old continued to recover. Funny enough, his age probably helped him a lot in this situation. Akram reportedly said he was angry after being rejected by a woman at the mall in the past, and this caused him to lash out and be aggressive. Alamander faces 19 years in prison. He's scheduled to be sentenced on the 3rd of June. Chances are he won't get anywhere near that long. I heard there was a racial motivation behind this. I don't know how true that is. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's... yeah. Funny thing is that when this happened, a lot of mainstream media was not talking about his race. People, yeah, that was really hard to find out. There were rumors that he was black. Obviously Fox News is talking about it because it's what's Fox News. But at the end of the day, yeah, look, to be honest, I think this is absolutely disgusting. I really, really do. And look, should he be charged with... If he did do it because of the white child, because it was white, then that's a hate crime, is it not? That's the argument going around. Maybe... I don't know. I think this is absolutely disgusting. I really, really do. He goes and throws a 5-year-old kid off a balcony, a 3rd-story balcony, because at the end of the day, you've been rejected by a woman. Like... yeah. And the funny thing about this is, imagine my shock when it's not trending on Twitter. But don't worry, they don't change the algorithm or anything. Everybody's talking about it, but it's not trending. That's interesting, isn't it? So, everybody's talking about it. Yeah, here's a photo of the kid. I don't like doing this because it's the kid, but... I'm not going to show the photo, because it's a kid. He's white, don't worry. Yeah. They've even tried to go through and tried to whitewash the photo a little bit. Looks like they tried to... Anyway, but guys, let me know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. To be honest, I would say yes. I would want to know if it's race motivated, because we need to start charging people. We need to start charging people with hate crimes if this is the case. I don't care what colour you are. If you go throwing someone off a balcony because they're white, then at the end of the day, you deserve to go to jail. If it's not that, and he just wanted to throw someone off a balcony because he was rejected, then so be it. But I heard he was rejected by a white girl, and he wanted to throw someone white off the balcony to make himself feel like a man. So to me, that in itself is sounding a lot like it's a hate crime. But you know, reverse racism. Well, it's not really reverse racism, it's just racism, to be honest. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. So, Tennessee pastor who repeatedly raped daughter, 14, gets light sentence because of Jesus. I don't think so, but anyway. Nothing says good Christian man like raping and incest. Tennessee pastor David Richards received a light sentence after being convicted of raping his 14-year-old daughter. This is obviously having a slant. So, yeah. In a despicable miscarriage of justice, Judge Stevens Sword sentenced Pastor Richards to only 12 years in prison for reportedly raping his 14-year-old daughter over the course of several years. In court, prosecutors argued the severity and hideous nature of the crimes deserved a minimum of 72 years in prison, but Judge Stevens Sword felt otherwise. Judge Sword, showing a sympathy and empathy for the rapist while minimizing the human suffering caused by Pastor Richards, cited the good work the rapist and insidious pedophile had done in the community in an attempt to justify the light sentence. This is not uncommon. This is not just a religious thing that they're trying to make out. There are people that will go through and who will do like charity work and stuff like that because at the end of the day it looks better on their record. There is actually a thing where if you're going to be dragged in front of the court, you go through and you work for charities and you do all that sort of work because it looks better on your report. So this is not just because of a Jesus thing. This is a pre-existing thing where if you're a pillar of the community in any sense, then at the end of the day they will go lenient on you. So saying this is because of Jesus is biased. It really, really is. Yeah. But anyway. Elizabeth Warren turns down Fox News town hall, calls network a hate-for-profit racket. I thought that was CNN's motto. The Manchester's senator rejects breaks with other Senators' rejection breaks with other Democrat contenders like Bernie Sanders and Pete Buttigieg. Senator Elizabeth Warren, a Democrat from Massachusetts, said Tuesday that she had turned down the chance of an appearance on Fox News on Town Hall, lambasting the network as a hate-for-profit racketeering that gives megaphone to racists and conspiracists. So, not biased whatsoever at all. Doing a Fox Town Hall would help legitimize the network to advertisers and help them make a profit to the 2020 contender. Are they not a legitimate profit? How do you go about arguing that CNN or MSNBC or whatever it may be, who, by the way, have gone on about conspiracy theorists, for example, how do you not go on about them being a legitimate organization, but yet when it comes to like Fox News, they're not legitimate? Yeah, because they're not on your team. That's what it is, right? This is them not wanting to give the opposition or Fox News, which, by the way, has better ratings than any of the mainstream media on the left, but regardless. Like Tucker Carlson, for example, smashes the ratings over CNN and all those sort of guys. But regardless. But like, for example, not wanting to go through and give Fox News, who has better ratings, and not only that, but also has, for example, the audience. How are they any different than CNN? Or MSNBC, or any of the other networks, okay? These other networks, they're all on the left. Fox News is on the right. They're still part of the establishment, though. They're still part of the machine. This is just the fact that she just doesn't want to appeal on the network, because at the end of the day, they're against her. Because they're Republican, and Republicans are evil. Blah, blah, blah. Deplorables. That worked well for Hillary in 2016. See how it works in 2020. Now, Warren has caused Fox News a hate-for-profit racket and refuses an appearance. Senator Warren said Tuesday that she would not participate in Fox News town hall. She also returned one of her campaign's central themes in her attack on Fox News, framing the network as a sort of corporate profit machine she has railed against. Which is funny because when Trump does it to CNN, oh my God, he's so evil. Meanwhile, here's one of ours doing it. But anyway. But Fox News is struggling as more and more advertisers pull out of their hate-filled spaces. Yeah. That's because of a PR campaign that the Democrats have waged. Which, by the way, because Fox News won't get rid of an anchor. We don't like this anchor because he says things that are inconvenient. So we're going to lead a PR campaign to get a whole bunch of sponsors pulled out. By the way, how's that working? I believe Carson Tucker's still on. Must sit there and think at the end of the day, for some reason, Fox News doesn't want to get rid of him. Probably because he gets the ratings. But anyway. Governor DeSantis, Russians hacked voting databases in 2 Florida counties. My head hurts. The GOP governor said incidents took place in 2016 and no election results were compromised. I think we already knew about this, to be honest. I remember hearing about it. After an FBI briefing, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis said Russians hacked to gain access to voter databases in 2 Florida counties ahead of the 2016 presidential election. DeSantis said on Tuesday the hackers didn't manipulate any data and the election results weren't compromised. The governor said that he has signed an agreement with the FBI not to disclose the names of the counties, but elections officials in those counties are aware of the intrusions. He said the hackers gained access through a spear-phishing email after a co-worker clicked the link. Republican Senator Marco Rubio has previously said at least one Florida county had an intrusion. Special Counsel Robert Mueller's report on Russian interference in 2016 also said hackers gained access to a network of at least one Florida county. But they didn't change any records. Maybe stop clicking the frigging links, people. I think at the end of the day, also, that the fact is that if these were Republicans' Florida seats, we would know about it. There would have been leaks. I reckon the fact that we haven't heard about these situations goes to show that it's most likely Democrats that won those seats. So, yeah. But anyway, let us know what you guys think in the comment section below. What do you reckon? Democrat strongholds? Or do you reckon they were Republicans and just, for some reason, wow. What was that about? What's the wow for, Scroll? Yeah, I reckon at the end of the day, my state, yeah, Florida, yeah. I think they were Democrat seats. I reckon the Democrats won those seats. Because the mainstream media would be all over this like a rash if these were Republican seats. Say, look, Trump won it legitimately. Impeach! Impeach! And I reckon the reason the mainstream media hasn't grabbed it is because A, they know that there's Democrat seats, and B, because Fox News hasn't found out about it yet. I reckon we'll find out later down the track. They were Democrat seats. White House reviews military plans against Iran. Really, Trump? In echoes of Iraq war. Washington, at the meeting of President Trump's top national security aides last Thursday, Acting Defense Secretary Patrick Shanahan presented an updated military plan that invasionists send as many as 120,000 troops to the Middle East should Iran attack American forces or accelerate work on their nuclear weapons, administration officials say. The revisions were ordered by hardliner led by John Bolton, who is deep state, Mr. Trump's national security advisor. They did not call for a land invasion of Iraq, which would require vastly more troops, officials say. We're just going to sell more bombs. I wonder who benefits from this shit. In his highest uncertain whether Mr. Trump, who has sought to disentangle the United States from Afghanistan and Syria, ultimately would send American forces back to the Middle East, I don't think Trump would do it. I think he knows this would be a bad idea. It's also unclear whether the president has been briefed on the number of troops or other details in the plans. Probably not. On Monday, asked about whether he's seeking regime change in Iraq, Mr. Trump said, "We'll see what happens with Iran. If they do anything, it would be a very bad mistake." The deep state wants to do a regime change because of a pipeline. Oh my God, imagine my shock. There's a pipeline at the moment that is running. The Russians, I believe, have a deal with Iran to run the pipeline. But Trump's and America's luck out because the Russians have got the deal. What the Americans want to do is go through and bring in this pipeline with their own people. And to do that, they need to do a regime change. I'll see if I can find the actual oil pipeline. See if I can find... This is what it's all about, is freaking oil. So this is the Iran pipeline. So it's for natural gas. Sorry, my bad. I got that wrong. Alright, so there is the pipeline there. So it goes from Athens down to Iran. Now, this there is this image too. There it is. Okay, this is exactly what I'm after. I'm going to drop some red pills in the chat for you guys in case you guys don't know. Alright. What you see on the screen is the two Europe and American backed natural gas pipelines. Just waiting for it to come up. Probably should have uploaded this video as a separate video too, to be honest, because it doesn't get the attention that it deserves. So what you have in red, you have the Russian-backed pipeline. In blue, you have the US-backed pipeline. So the Russian-backed pipeline is Iran, Iraq, and Syria pipeline. The US-backed pipeline is Qatar, Turkey, and pipeline is US backed. These are the difference, right? But at the end of the day, the pipeline still heads to Europe, which is a huge financial incentive. And that's what it's all about. The US has their pipeline that they want to put through, but they need to go through from Qatar through to Turkey, which goes through Syria, which, oh my God, imagine my shock, we just almost went to war with, where the Russian-backed line goes from Iran, Iraq, through to Syria. And that's what it's all about. It is about this. This is all it is about. It is oil. Natural gas, actually. There it is there, guys. Right on the screen. That's what it's all about. This is why I have a problem with it. It's deep state. It's everything that Trump was supposedly fighting against. Now, does anybody else find it a little weird that we almost had war with Syria? Seems like Syria might be a central location regarding this pipeline, don't you think? You know, either way, it has to go through Syria or come out of Syria. Is anybody else finding it a little weird that we went to war with them almost? But anyway. What do you guys reckon? Apart from that, let's keep going. Attorney General William Barr appoints U.S. Attorney to look into origins of FBI probe. Attorney General William Barr has assigned a United States Attorney in Connecticut to look into the origins of the Federal Bureau of Investigation's probe into the Trump campaign, according to reports. This is good news. Barr has appointed John Durham, I don't know who that is and I'd have to look into that, for the assignment. According to the New York Times, Durham has a history of investigating potential wrongdoing among national security officials. Barr sent shockwaves through the Washington after acknowledged earlier this year during a hearing that would review the origins of the FBI's investigation into Trump campaign, and again whether he referred to those activities as spying. And again, when he referred to those activities as spying, sorry. Specifically, he said that he wanted to review whether the FBI had predicated for spying on Trump campaign. For example, when it sought a surveillance warrant against former campaign of Page, which is the visor warrants. Barr's assessment of Durham may indicate that his review of the origins warrants further investigation and action. Separately, the DOJ Inspector General Michael Husowitz is due to issue a report on his findings on whether the FBI acted improperly when investigating the Trump campaign and launched an investigation in July of 2016. Former Attorney General Jeff Sessions appointed the U.S. Attorney in Utah, John Huber, to review aspects of the Russia investigation, but it's unclear what has been investigation or has been found. Trump nominated Durham for his current position in 2017, and Durham has conducted a special investigation under of both parties, including the Times. I do want to check out this guy and find out what Durham is like. John Durham. It's on my to-do list. I don't know him from a bar of soap, so could be bad, could be good. Obviously, any investigation into the Democrats and the FISA warrants and stuff like that is obviously a good thing. So we'll see what happens, and this is why I think they're going after Barr. It's happening. Barr expands probe into internal agency efforts. Durham working with CIA Chief Haspel. DNI quotes. Sorry. DNI quotes an FBI boss's way on Spygate probe. So the media was stunned Monday after it revealed that Bill Barr appointed top special prosecutor John Durham to investigate the origins of the Russian probe. John Durham, a U.S. attorney in Connecticut, was nominated by Trump in 2017, a history of investigating wrongdoing among national security officials, which sounds promising. According to a new report by DOJ report of CNN, Laura Janet, Barr is working closely with the CIA Director Jim Haspel, Director of National Intelligence Dan Coates, and FBI Director Christopher Wray on surveillance issues relating to Trump's 2016 campaign. This suggests a broader interagency effort is underway. This new development should not be a surprise to anyone that's been closely following the Russiagate, Spygate, Obamagate, because we know that all hands were on deck to spy on Trump's campaign in 2016. Barr is straightforward. Yes, I do worry about the other guys though, when you're saying that, Squirrel. CIA Chief John Brennan, I Chief James Clapper, and FBI Director James Comey were all involved in promoting the phony Hillary-funded dossier and passed it around via various intelligence agencies. Hillary's phony dossier even ended up in the CI report, contrary to statements made by Clapper under oath. Larry Jennett and also reported that the US attorneys tapped by Barr to investigate Spygate. John Durham will be working with Barr on a 360-degree review of the situation. So what exactly is John Hubbard, a special prosecutor tapped by former AS Sessions, doing? Janet reported that Hubbard has been in holding pattern as the DOJ IG completes a review of the situation surrounding Carter Page surveillance warrants, his work on Clinton wrapping up soon. This is why Democrat media complexes variously about Bill Barr. They no longer have control over the Justice Department because, unlike Jeff Sessions, Barr is about the rule of law, which is good. And what he's supposed to be. He is DOJ. He's exactly what he's supposed to be. So look, at the end of the day, what's my view on this? It's a good thing. Hopefully they'll go through and they'll stop this. But this is another Watergate. This is another Watergate situation where you have someone in office going through and actually spying on a presidential nominee. That is in itself is pretty scary. I think Obama knew all about this. And I think they were worried about Trump possibly winning, which is why they went through and tried to spy on him in case they needed leverage to get rid of him or something like that. And it's a bloody good thing that Trump is honest. Well, not honest, but at least not corrupt. Because at the end of the day, holy shit, they would have found something. But they didn't. So we know Trump's pretty good at that sort of stuff. We know he hasn't colluded with Russia. The report confirmed that even. It just took 2 years. Trump's approval ratings skyrocket to highest point in years. President Donald Trump has the highest approval rating in over 2 years, the new polling average released Monday shows. The president's average approval rating is currently at 45%, according to Real Clear Politics, which is based on a compilation of polls from April 26th to May 13th. The 45% mark is Trump's highest RCP polling average since February 2017. Since the infanticide of his presidency, Trump's approval ratings have sat at around 40%, but have completely begun to tick up in the middle to high 40% points, a significant improvement in less than 80 months out from 2020 election, which is good. The Collett poll published last week shows Trump's approval rating is at 46%, which is higher than the approval ratings for former President Barack Obama at the same point during his first term. Despite Trump's reputation as an unprecedentedly polarizing figure, his economy policies have received strong support from the American people, with 58% approving of his president's handling of the economy, according to a Georgetown University poll released last week. The US has seen more than 3% GDP growth in back-to-back years under Trump's watch, a feat that was never reached under the Obama administration. The economy boom is widely related to the 27 Republican Tax Cuts Jobs Act, as well as Trump's administration deregulating agenda. Trump took to Twitter Monday to list some of his accomplishments made in office while countering Democrats' accusations of constitutional crisis. Following Special Counsel Robert Mueller's findings, the president wrote in part, "We have the strongest economy in our history, best employment numbers ever, lowest tax regulations, rebuilding military and VA, many great new judges, and much more." Whether you like Trump or not, personally I like him, but regardless, whether you like him or not, you have to give him credit. Lowest unemployment rates. The American economy is doing fairly well. I know there was a drop in it yesterday. That is just what they call a reset on the market. That is to be expected. The market, the US market, is doing fairly well. Look, at the end of the day, it is winning, winning, winning. Trump is winning. The US is winning. Orange man bad. Yes, but Orange man bad. No, no. Look, at the end of the day, he's doing a good job. I hate his foreign policies. I hate this whole war on Iran shit, Syria shit, and all that, right? I hate it. But his domestic policies for America, he is doing what he said he wanted to do. He is making America his top priority. He's ripping up all these trade agreements, ripping up all this shit that got America screwed over, and he's doing a good job. And I tell you what, if the Democrats would come out and admit that, which they won't because Orange Man bad, then at the end of the day, they would probably have a lot more support than they do. But when they sit there and they try and claim all this bullshit under the sun, and people can go to Fox News and they can realize that CNN, MSNBC, and whatnot are full of crap, it does nothing for CNN's credibility. When they sit there and go, Orange Man bad, blah, 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 Trump sucks, US economy, constitutional crisis, and then they flick over to Fox News, and Fox News sits there and goes, for example, lowest unemployment, record markets, you know? People are sitting there thinking, what the hell is CNN going on about? Why do we have a constitutional crisis? Trump derangement syndrome is an understatement, Squirrel. It really is. And this is the problem. They're so deranged that at the end of the day, they've lost sight. They've lost sight of objective marketing or objective journalism. They are now a propaganda mouthpiece for the Democratic Party. And don't get me wrong, Fox News is a mouthpiece for the Republicans, yes. But at the end of the day, at the moment, Fox News isn't the one lying. CNN is. CNN going about a constitutional crisis. What the hell are you talking about? Like, even Kumi has rebutted this argument. Kumi, the biggest sellout of all, has even rebutted it. Like, oh, but anyway. Trump derangement syndrome is bad, bad, bad man, Orange man, bad, bad. So they sound like the bloody guys from that Alien movie. What is it where you where they came and invaded Earth? It's like Mars Attacks, I think it is. Still 22. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Jason. Yeah, full credit. It is. Yeah, they are 22 trillion in debt. Yeah, and look, at the end of the day, my comment to that is, let's see what happened with the next year. Is he going to keep pushing that debt? Or is he going to rein it back in? I get the argument that he had to make with the whole military expense. But at the end of the day, I get that argument that we had to go through and the US had to spend that money to get the Americans up to scratch for their war machine, so to speak. I get that. Let's see what happens with the debt now. The problem is that, you know, like infrastructure. You know, yeah. But yes, the debt is definitely a problem. Fully agree with that, man. Really do. Ramadan Rage 2019. Jihadis kill 165, wound 145 in the first week. Islamic terrorists, mainly the Islamic State, ISIS and ISIL, carried out more than 30 attacks in over 10 countries during the first week of the ongoing holy month of Ramadan. Don't go starving a bunch of Muslims. Killing at least 166 people and injuring 155 others. And look, yeah, obviously on that scroll, I would say at the end of the day, look, does Trump have flaws? Sure. There are going to be things that we don't like. I don't like the war machine. I don't like the deep state pushing for Syria, Iran wars, and all this sort of shit. And that debt, a lot of that he did inherit. It's funny how people go on about the debt and they didn't talk about it with Obama. I'm not saying you, Jason. I'm talking about mainstream media going on about the debt. And it's like, yeah, but hang on. How much were we in debt when Obama was in there? Oh, but we had a recession. True. But no one cared about the debt then. Or Bush, for example. How much of that was under Bush? Yeah. So far, jihadis have killed an average of 24 people and injured 22 others each day during the first week of the holy month. In 2019 Ramadan, a time when Islamic extremists believe that Allah doubtedly rewards martyrism and jihadism, began at sunset on May 5th and is expected to last throughout Sunday and on June 4th. So they've been at it for 10 days. Breitbart News counted exclusive attacks that took place on May 5th this week. The Ramadan death toll covers 33 incidents that took place in 10 countries between May 6th and the 12th. Afghanistan, Berlin, Burkina Faso, Iraq, Pakistan, Kenya, Somalia, Libya, Mali, Nigeria, Pakistan, and Syria. By the way, that doesn't also count the people that were killed, rightly so, by the way, but still like Sri Lanka and stuff like that too. I know that was before Ramadan, but yeah, they've been quite busy lately. During the first week of the holiest month of Muslims, Breitbart News determined that Afghanistan, 61 deaths, 44 injured, Iraq, 29 deaths and 27 injured, were the deadliest countries. Afghanistan alone account for more than 35% of all deaths and about 30% of all injuries. Despite the complete fall of the so-called ISIS Caliphate in March, US military and intelligence officers believe the group remains a significant threat in its home base of Iraq and Syria and beyond. I don't know why Syria is mentioned. I don't think there's much of a problem with ISIS in Syria, but, hey, me oil, I suppose. Or natural gas in this situation. So far, ISIS, the most prophetic jihadi group during the Ramadan, responsible for 13 attacks that left 45 people dead and 42 others injured, all but one Nigeria. The incidents took place in Iraq and Syria. That's true. We will, yeah. Yeah. I'm kind of hoping that Labour doesn't win in the US election. I do have a prediction. I am going to do a video about that. I've got Friday off, so maybe Friday afternoon I'll try and get it up. I'll go do some research. But yeah, we're going to be screwed if Labour wins. They're also going to open the floodgates and let in a whole bunch of migrants too. They're also going to remove capital gains tax the rich bracket. Yeah, it's all bad news, man. It really is. So jihadist groups urge the followers and supporters to intensify their efforts to cascade infidels during the holy month, arguing that Allah exceptionally rewards martyrdom on Ramadan. In the lead up to Ramadan, ISIS exclusive leader al-Barak al-Baghdadi resurfaced in his first video in 5 years, urging Muslims to carry out more attacks, as he pledged to take revenge on those who demolished the group so-called caliphate and once spawned across the swaths of Iraq and Syria. Our battle today is one of attrition and stretching an enemy. They should know that jihadi is ongoing until the death of judgment. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. They do have a list here of all the incidences where attacks have happened. So obviously, if you guys want to check it out, so be it. But yeah. But look, at the end of the day, yeah, I would say, look, no, it's Ramadan. We know this happens every year. But don't worry, they're bombs of peace. Right? Trey Gowdy offers tip to Republicans. Look for emails between Brendan and Kumi. Oof, Trey, what do you know? Former South Carolina Rep Trey Gowdy offers a tip on Monday night for congressional investigators probing the Obama administration for handling of the Trump-Russia investigation. Have a good night, squirrel. Enjoy yourself, hun. So whatever investigates this, tell them to look for emails between Brendan and Comey in December 2016. We're going to wrap up soon anyway, actually. Comey said in an interview of Fox News, Sean Hannity refers to the former CIA director John Brennan and the former FBI director James Comey. So, yeah. This should have been actually put back with the other stuff, but you get the idea. Joe Biden, not a single bit of evidence. Son asked me to help him in Ukraine. Interesting that he said evidence there. Didn't say he didn't do it. He just said there's no evidence, but, you know. Former Vice President Joe Biden denied Monday that his son Hunter Biden asked him for a favor in Ukraine while serving on the energy board of the Ukraine Energy Company. Okay, we never said that he asked you for a favor, and we never said there was proof. We said it's very suspicious that your son is on this board while you're secretly making deals for the Ukraine. Also, why are we talking about just the Ukraine and not also the China deal? Remind everyone, bogus 2016 Pfizer warrant request to spy on Trump was signed by Obama's AOG, Loretta Lynch. So last night on the Ingram Angle on Fox News, former Deputy Assistant Attorney General John Udo noted that Obama's Attorney General Loretta Lynch signed on most of all the Pfizer warrants during Obama's last couple of years in office. So, yeah. Cory Booker, more regulation over toy guns than real ones. I think that's a lot of crap. Democrat presidential hopeful Cory Booker is drawing heat over his claim that there is more regulation over toy guns than real ones. The Washington Post calls the statement misleading. I would say that's true too. Political Fact ruled it as mostly false, and the UN.com simply responded, no. Booker actually made the statement in May 6th post in Medium, but has since pinned it to the top of his tweet account, making it one of the first things people see when visiting his Twitter page. Obviously, he's trying to push for gun control. And, you know, hey, if we need to lie about it, then so be it, I suppose, right? Liz Chutney responds after Talib doubles down on inaccurate Holocaust claim. Most fourth graders know what the Holocaust was. Republican conference chair Liz Cheney fired back on Tuesday after Democrat Michigan Representative Trish Tlaib defended her false Holocaust claims and questions the intelligence of her critics. I think that most fourth graders know what the Holocaust was and apparently doesn't. And she doesn't, sorry. Cheney replied when appearing on Fox News and Friends, a situation today where one of those of us who are elected officials is particularly an elected official in the House of Representatives where anti-Semitism is rising within our body, have an obligation to stand up and stop it. Which is a good point. So, yeah. 2 years after Islamic attack, 2 years after Islamic attack, I might make this a separate video actually. So 2 years after Islamic terror attack, ad for Islamic group with alleged terror ties appear inside of Manchester Arena. So 2 years after the Islamic terrorists killed 23 and injured 139 people, many of them children, at the Manchester Arena, an ad for Islamic group with alleged ties to terrorism has appeared on the side of the building. On May 22nd, 2017, radical Islamist Samal Romanian, whatever his name is, detonated a homemade shrapnel bomb as people were leaving the Ariana Grande concert at the Manchester Arena. The attack was the deadliest in the UK since 2005 London bombings, with more than half of the victims being children. It subsequently emerged that Abedi was a refugee rescued from Libya by the Royal Navy before he took a flight to the UK 3 years before the attack. Almost 2 years after the day of the Manchester bombing, a huge billboard has appeared on the side of the building promoting the Korean and Islamic charity. To save a life as is if you save all of mankind, states the ad, which was paid for by Islamic Relief, an organization which is banned in Israel for allegedly funding Hamas. In 2016, HSBC cut ties with the group after concerns that the cash meant for humanitarian purposes was being sent to terrorist groups abroad. The government of the Bangladesh also restricted of the groups. Allegedly, funds were being used to promote radicalism. The United Emirates government also blacklisted the group as an alleged terrorist front in 2016. So it's not like it's only one or two people saying it. If it had just been Israel, it would have been like, yeah, maybe biased. But even the United States of Emirates is jumping in on it. So maybe there's something to it. So the summary of the Islamic group with alleged links to terrorism has been blacklisted by numerous countries, including that from Saudi Arabia, by the way, who is also Islamic. And a bank is now advertising a building that was bombed by Islamic terrorists just 2 years ago. I don't think this is a free speech argument. People are going to try and make that statement. I think, then there's the banner there, by the way. I think at the end of the day, this is absolutely disgusting. And I think at the end of the day, the ad should be taken down. And they should have to pay back the money. Take the ad down. And, yeah. Like, can you like, some right-winger, alt-right, for example, say altright.com, the website, went through and ran an ad on the side of a mosque that they shot up. Or one of their guys shot up. What do you think the response from the mainstream media would be? Holy shit. Like, yeah, absolutely disgusting. It really, really is. Am I surprised this is happening in the UK? No. But, look, public pressure will obviously go through and get the arena to take the ad down. Not encouraging people to do it, but, you know, hey, if it works. And the last story for the day, because I think we're hitting like almost 3 hours. No, it's just over 2, sorry. Italy declares war on NGOs, will find boats for rescuing immigrants. Will stop them by any means necessary. It would appear that Italy's Interior Minister Matt Salvini has escalated his widely support anti-immigrant stance by enforcing George Soros and his NGO pals to put their money where their virtual signalling mouths are. The Guardian's Lorenzo Rotono, I'm getting that wrong, reports that Italy's government is planning to issue a decree that would mean that NGO boats rescuing would be fined up to €5,500, euros, or 4,760 for each immigrant they embark on to Italian soil. I imagine this will stop them. I support this. I really, really do. I think at the end of the day, this will stop them. This will stop them from showing up. The NGOs are going to sit there and think there is no way this is profitable. Fuck that. We're going to take them off and we'll drop them off somewhere else. So, yeah, I would say this is a good thing. But guys, apart from that, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below regarding that situation. Okay, so look, that's basically going to be the show for the day, guys. What did we hit? Just over 2 hours? Live, just over 2 hours. Well done, cool. So much for an hour-long show. But guys, look, let me know what your thoughts are in any of the topics that we've covered for the day. If you're new to the channel, obviously don't forget to hit that, smack that like button. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe as well as the bell, because, you know, YouTube wants to make you go through and jump through a lot more hoops just because, you know, their agenda. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, obviously, if you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. Apart from that, guys, obviously, don't forget to share the video on social media if you have a chance. But at the end of the day, apart from that, guys, we will see you in tomorrow's show. There will be a video maybe later in the week where we're going to be talking about Australian politics. I'm going to try and